do this. I'm going to go to, if you log into edpuzzle.com. Okay, we'll start there. Does anybody have an EdPuzzle account? So you're all newbies, which I like. All right, so let me log out here. And if you're brand new, you should see this screen here. Teacher Start Now. So click on that. And down here at the bottom left is a skip, unless you just want to watch the tour. That's fine. So I'm going to click on skip. And if you have a Google account or whatever an Edmodo is, I don't even know what Edmodo is. But
it's like school.
Okay. So if you have one of those, you can sign in that way. Or if you don't have any of those, like the students don't have it as well, just type in your information. Go ahead and do that real quick. Sign up for an account. Well, if you just click on, it, should pop up, hopefully. No, your password won't pop up, which is nice, unless you're already logged into your computer that way. Yeah.
Did you say I could log in with Google or?
Yeah, go to EdPuzzle and then click on either.
4 easy steps.
You would recommend that if I have a Google account, I can log in with that?
That's what I do. So I've already got an account, so I'm going to click here and then click onto my Google account.
Once again, just get started.
Yes. Okay. Here is what I have done with EdPuzzle. Last year, and let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I taught at Avon for 17 years, and about a year ago, on one of the listservs for AP Chemistry, a teacher mentioned something about EdPuzzle, and they'd already flipped the schedule, and talked about EdPuzzle, and I was like, what is this EdPuzzle? And I was really intrigued, and the individual was talking about how you could take your own videos or videos that already exist out on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever that's called, and actually make it your own. And so I went to YouTube and immediately Googled what is EdPuzzle, and this is what I found. And I like this guy because he butchers the English like no other, but he does a great job in explaining it. So let's watch what he has to say, and hopefully you can hear it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim. I'm one of the co-founders of EdPuzzle. And for several years I was a math teacher in Barcelona. And these were my students. I love my students. But we had the most challenging school in all Spain. 60% of my students were immigrants from Pakistan, and most of the others lived in a gypsy community with a rate of absenteeism of over 70%. Yes, I had a unique classroom, but still I wanted my students to learn math, language skills. I want them to be engaged with the classroom. So that's why I introduced the flipped classroom. And it worked for me. And I'm 100% sure it can work for you too. Because in EdPuzzle, we're empowering teachers to make the flipped classroom work. Work for your unique classrooms. Yeah, it seems to work. The flipped classroom works, really. It works, but it will work for your unique classrooms. If you're considering to flip your classroom, let me read my crystal ball and explain you or tell you what is going to happen. You will fall in a pit of billions and billions of videos on YouTube that you won't be able to reuse. Some of them are too long, most of them are boring, but most important, they don't match your teaching approach. They are almost right, you could almost use it. So instead of reinventing the wheel, that we know it's expensive because you have to use iPads or video cameras, and it's time consuming, we allow you to take that video that it's almost right, fix it, and make it just right. That's what we do in EdPuzzle. We allow you to take the tools to fix a video and make it perfect for your classroom. Let's say I find a video that's too long for my students. I can crop it. I can take only what I need for my students. Or perhaps I have an excellent video, but I prefer to explain with my own words. I can record my voice on top of that video. Or even if I have an excellent video, but I don't know if my students understand what I'm trying to say, we allow you to embed questions during the video so that you can check if your students understand what you're trying to say in that video. Let me explain you how it works. Let me explain you how it worked in my classroom. My students can watch a 10-minute video. I mean, most of them. But I'm sure in your classroom it happens the same. So we allow you to crop a video and use only the part that you need. Don't use anything else, only what you need in your classroom. Let's say my students love a Khan Academy video. I can only use 1 minute of that video because it's the thing I'm explaining in my classroom. Another thing that my students loved was my voice. They loved to hear my voice in the video. That's true. I mean, and that's normal. Education is about building a relationship with your students. And that's what we do. We allow you to record your voice on top of the video so that your students will feel like you're with them in that video. And finally, even if you created the most engaging video that YouTube has ever seen, you don't know if they are watching it. You don't know if they understand what you're trying to explain. So you can finally add questions, embed questions during the video so that you can check their understanding during the video and check the effectiveness of that video. And wouldn't it be great to have that data for each one of your students? You got it. You have each one of your students, and you can see actually what they need with that video. So that's EdPuzzle in 4 minutes. Remember, we're working really, really hard so that you can take a video that wouldn't work in your classroom and make it work. Make it effective and make it yours. Thank you very much for your time and patience with my accent. Come see us for a demo, please.
All right, so that was the video that I watched a year ago and just fell in love. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what is this? So I went on and started. I already had my videos created. Or you can go to YouTube, and I'll do an example on how you can take a video that's already created and change this. But here's what I love about this. And I haven't been able to use it here because I've been spending all my time getting OneNote ready, getting Schoology ready. And after this year, I'm going to start using EdPuzzle again. But last year at Avon, what it allowed me to do was to get really important data. So here were all the videos, the lecture videos that my students would watch. And I have flipped my class. I flipped the AP Chemistry class 4 years ago. It's flipped here. The kids love it, even though I'm not using EdPuzzle. So what that means is that they watch the lecture at home or they watch the videos at home, and then when we get into class, all we do is answer questions. We work on homework. We go over different types of things that they may or may not have understood from the video or from the lecture. And we're more efficient in the classroom, which is really nice. But here is the feedback that I would get, and this is kind of nice. So first of all, it actually shows every student, whether the student, first of all, watched the video or not. You see the red X's? That means they didn't watch the whole video. The green X, or the green checks, means that they did. The green means that they got the majority of the questions correct that you embedded and asked. So that's a real quick, and that's changed from what you saw in the video or the YouTube video. This is a lot cleaner. So it gives you the student option and then the question. So here are the questions that I asked the students within the video. And what's really nice is I can get some real quick, immediate feedback on how well the students were doing. So let me go back to a student. And let's say that, like this student right up here, Andrew Brown. Great student. Got a 5 on my AP exam. But he never watched the videos. He was just that smart. He didn't need to. He could take the material that I gave him, look at it, analyze it, and move on. However, there were other students like Schneidine, who 2 years ago came from Haiti, couldn't speak a lick of English, and was very good at French, and so she needed to watch these videos. Now, this was early on in the game, and she didn't really do too well at that. Also, like, I'll pick on Chandler here, since he's actually now training for the Olympic team in swimming. What I like about this is a nice little dashboard of all the questions, whether they got them right or got them wrong. The pink tells us that he got it wrong and what their answer was. But this information up here is really nice. This is broken down into 3-minute segments. Now, again, I would not recommend that a video that you give your students be over 10 minutes. The 10 minutes is the magic spot because that keeps their interest for whatever. But AP Chemistry, this is how long I lectured. And so that was the information. Every little box you see along here, those are the questions along the video. If it's green, they got it right. If it's red, they got it wrong. If I want to find out how many times they watched the video, there's a legend up here that actually indicates that they went back and rewatched a certain portion. Also, there's information about when they watched the video. So first of all, it told us I assigned this video and said it was due by a certain time, and then it told me when they watched it. Now, Chandler had a study hall right before AP Chemistry, so that's when he generally would watch the videos. And the nice thing is, even though I have all my videos on YouTube, EdPuzzle allows the student to view the video. So it doesn't have the block for the YouTube, which is really nice. And all that information's in the FAQs down here that talks about, well, YouTube's blocked in my school. EdPuzzle allows that door to open up. So that time is nice. But then when I look at, say, I'm going to pick on Luke. Luke was notorious for doing this. 1 a.m. Okay, I would often question, what are you actually getting out of a video or a lecture at 1 a.m.? Some students are on their A game, and I don't know, but me, I'm not functional at 1 a.m. So that's another nice component about EdPuzzle. It lets you know when they watched it or when they submitted the video. Okay, so that's really nice. What else here? Let's see. Also, what I would typically do, like here, I'll pick on Rushi since he was a good. Oh no, let's not pick on Rushi. Let's go to Alyssa. Listen, okay, Alyssa. One of my last questions that I would always ask is, do you have any questions about the video? Some kids would take it seriously. Some would just write joke or just write nothing. But Alyssa generally would ask a good question. And this would be something that I would start the next day off with, going over the questions. I would never say, well, that's Michelle's question, and etc. I would always just put it up there. And if I needed a clarification, then I would say, would somebody please clarify this for me? Generally, that student that asked the question would speak up on that. So it's really nice on seeing how they did there. So that feedback's really nice. The export feature here, if I wanted to say I counted homework as a grade, I think I gave like a 5% nominal percent for homework grades. It'll create a CSV file that I can upload into Power Teacher, so if I had multiple classes, I wouldn't have to go and type all that information in. And I'm sure Susan could. I'm not going to tell you how to do that because I can't remember right offhand. But I would use that quite a bit as well. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
You're going a little bit fast for me. What did you just do on the export thing? Because I was a little bit fuzzy at the beginning.
Okay. In Power School, there's a way that you can import a CSV file.
Okay.
So, like, if you actually wanted to take this for a grade, and say, like, a homework grade, you can click on Export, and it will create what's called a comma something. I don't remember what it. Yeah. So, and that file will actually be. It's a CSV Excel spreadsheet that you can actually upload or into Power Teacher, and it'll put those grades in there for you.
You ever need to know how to do that?
There you go. So, and I know Susan knows how to do it. I used to know how to do that a year ago, but it's gone. I haven't used it for a while. So it is possible.
It's a time saver.
Oh, it's a huge time. So you don't have to go and put the 2 windows in and then type all the information in. So yeah, that's really helpful. So let's do this. Let me show you how you can take maybe an existing video that is not yours and change it. So let's see here. I'm going to go to YouTube. And I like this one guy. Okay, I'm going to go to, let's see, this. There, oh, stop moving. There he is. All right, so I'm going to pick a video. You know this guy?
I know that guy.
Okay. So he's pretty good, but he likes to do this. And
He does have hairy arms. I got that too.
okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I like this video, but I'm not excited by what he's saying, and I want to put my own voice over it. So I'm going to, first of all, find the video on YouTube, copy the URL, go back to EdPuzzle. I'm going to go to search, and I can click on, oh, and let me tell you, there's already in this, if you type something like balancing equations, I think I found a couple of his. Look, I almost spelled it right. Get rid of the R. Come on. So there's already a bunch of people that have made augmentations to it. So if you want to say, hey, you know, I'm going to use what this guy did or crop it or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and put the video in. So I'm going to hit search. And now what happens is I've got the video. And now I have these four options. I have a crop option. I have a audio track. I have an audio note. And I have the most important questions that I can put in there. The cropping, say like I go through and I've watched this video before and I say, you know, I only want to talk about this part right here. Okay, so I can take that, looks like 3 minutes and 53 seconds, and use that for my lesson. Now, if you say to yourself, well, there's two parts that I want to show, but unfortunately, the good part is here, and then the other good part is over here, then you get to make two videos. Okay, so that's okay. You can deal with that and then assign those two videos. So that's the cropping feature. Then let me put that back. And if you like the whole video, that's fine. Here, if you click on audio track, what that does is it allows you to mute whatever's on there and allow you to talk. Okay, so I'll do that here in a second. Actually,
Why would you do that? If you were going to talk, why talk over? I mean, talk over the guy that's on the video.
I have a great one. I have a couple of videos where the guy that's explaining it, I mean, it's like a demonstration, but the guy that explains it, first of all, has this horrible accent that is hard to understand, and he's got this monotone voice that is insane.
Well, and sometimes too, the way that we notate or describe things in our classes is just slightly different, or maybe not what our students are used to. So I could see for just maybe like 30 seconds, voicing over one little part.
Can you do
Do
that?
that just for one little part?
So basically, you're one.
You would have to crop the video. You would have to actually change because it will want you to put everything over.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can't just voice over one
Right.
part of it.
So if you're going to do that, you will, at this point in the game, you'll have to crop it.
Okay.
So, and that's what I did in the first period. I actually started doing a voiceover, and then here, I'll show you what I did.
So when you do that, what you're wanting to do is see what's being visually
Yes.
seen,
Yep.
but you talk about it in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I can
right,
see why you guys might do that. For me, that I don't in social studies. I don't know that.
Unless you wanted to, you can't.
I mean, what would they be
certain
looking
section.
at that?
no, you can't mute a certain section. So like right now, I'm recording over this, and I might be explaining something or whatever. And so right now I've only been recording over a certain amount of this, and if I hit this and it says remove the last recording, reset the whole recording, then yeah. But if I try to finish this, then it tells me you will lose your recording because you didn't do the whole thing. So yeah, I'm just like, okay. So that's the bad thing. So if I want
You
to,
have to record over the whole video.
correct.
If you want it shorter, you have to clip it.
But you don't
Yes.
have to even be talking, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you can just let it happen. Or say like, okay, let's see if I can go back here. Let's reset. Okay. Say that I want him to talk, but I just want to put in, okay, whatever. I just want to put in like a note. I can, instead of putting a written comment, I can go and say, I apologize for this guy's really hairy arms. And then once I get ready, I can, I apologize for this guy's really hairy arms. And then, boom, it goes right into it. Okay? So that's kind of nice.
But does that have to be a
No, it can be anywhere.
Okay, so you could interject
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so the video will stop right there.
So you say, all right, this guy uses this variable to represent this. We use this, just know that.
Perfect.
And then keep going.
Yep.
Okay,
So it
that's
pauses
great.
the video while you're
Yeah,
talking.
so like right now in the middle here,
Right on.
so it's like, okay, this guy likes wearing whatever lime-colored shirts. Okay, so when I back up a little bit, he keeps talking.
It's just a word for an equation that's not balanced. It has different.
So it's like, okay, this guy likes wearing whatever lime-colored shirts. And then, boom.
Numbers of 1
That makes sense.
Okay. So you can put in an audio. Now, the most important thing that I really like, okay, is the questions. So you can move this around anywhere. Let me move it around and say like, okay, pop it in, and it gives you 3 options. So it gives you like an open-ended question, the first option. The second one is multiple choice. The third one is a comment. Now, before, I don't believe this was available during the first generation a year ago, but it is now, which is nice because I'd much rather had that than this. Just that's a personal preference. But like, for example, you can type in how many, just to make sure they're paying attention. How many atoms of hydrogen, hydrogen are on the reactant side? Okay. And then you would go and put in your answers like 1, 2, I need more answers, 3. And you would choose which one is correct. So the green means yes, the X means no. And if you left it like that and tried to move on, it's like you got to have at least one correct answer. So click the correct answer. And also what's brand new from the summer is this feedback option. So if they choose one, it's already wrong. They only get one chance to choose the correct answer. You can give feedback, say, like, look at the molecule or something along those lines. And you could give some feedback. And then when you finish, okay, when you save it, it gives you your answers, but it also, the students can't see that feedback. This is edit mode for you. Okay, and if you don't like, say, ooh, I didn't write the molecule. Yeah, until they answer it. So if they answer it correctly, then it'll give a little green arrow. If it's a wrong response, it'll give a red arrow. And if you left feedback, it'll give some feedback. Yeah, it'll automatically pop up. Okay, but they can't go back and try to re-answer it. That's the nice thing. So you can also go back and edit that, again, if you want to add more options or whatever. So the quiz feature is really, really nice. So now you've got, so you can crop it, say like, okay, that's enough for my kids for one day, and finalize the video for that. So once I have the video the way that I want it, now I can come over and just finish it. So now you will have to assign a class, okay? And I still have my AP Chem from Avon and my Plainfield, so I haven't started doing anything with the Plainfield yet. That'll be next year after I get OneNote and Schoology and all the other.
You submitted these names and all this.
Right, there's a place where you created these classes.
I created the class, but yeah, let me go back. Here,
You have to add them separately.
they will go back and add. Let me actually go here to my classes. So here is a code that you'll give them. While they're in class, you say, okay, everybody log in to EdPuzzle, and then enter this code to join my class. So I don't have to go in and add for each of you. You can add and become part of that.
Are you questioning about EdPuzzle? Do you work at, well, I guess you said you're not using it this year, but could you post links to EdPuzzle on Schoology?
Yes.
Or do the kids each have their own EdPuzzle account?
That they will each have their own login. And so, like, that's some of the questions that are on here. Where was it? LMS. Oh, I thought they said.
And this is
There it is.
free.
Totally free. Yep.
I want to put my lesson into another website.
You're probably going to get to this, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So, is there a place to save these?
Yes. So that's in my content. So that's up here in my
And
content.
does anyone else have, like, my screen is just...
Where's my content?
Oh, that's up here on the top bar. Oh.
We don't have any content yet.
You don't have any content yet, but I have I have lots of content from.
I popped in a URL.
But I can't even
I guess we think if you get into a site, you'll be able to.
You may be dead. Yeah. But yeah, so that is my content and the examples that I showed earlier today.
This is what you're trying to see.
So that would be saved forever. I mean, even if that YouTube video is no longer available in the future, you have created there.
What I have created, and I actually uploaded it to EdPuzzle, but you don't have to upload to EdPuzzle. So as long as that video is on YouTube, and you're not the creator of that video, their students will be able to see it. Is that what you're saying?
I guess once you edit the video like you want it to.
Yes. Yeah. So it'll keep all those markers. Right. So let me see if I can find like one of my first ones.
As opposed to like if you just always go to a URL to access a certain
Correct.
YouTube video. Like now this is yours
It's gonna
and
keep
saved
it there.
even if it goes away.
Yeah. So like here's one of the first videos that I created. So, and what's really a nice improvement, this used to be the size window that the students could watch. Now they blew it up. So now we can see everything, which is really nice. And they can see when they're getting ready to get to a question. Yeah, ignore all that. But so, and that's so much better because my students would also complain about, well, I can only see a certain amount. I can't see what you're writing on the screen. But now with EdPuzzle, the whole screen is now available for us, which is a huge plus.
I have a functional question.
Yeah.
When you put questions in video, where do you play? Like, do you say the answer and then immediately put the question right there? So the kid, I mean, they just listen to it. So there's really no possibility of them being able to miss it, is there?
What I typically did on these videos here is I would bring it to a point where I would like normally ask a question in class, and then I would answer immediately right after. I honestly can't remember.
The line up here at the top, if you have a highlighter, highlight where it says the number of potential atoms.
I think that's probably a comment coming up.
Okay. You have a highlighter.
This is before I had my smart board today, Avon. Okay, so yeah, that was a comment. But
So you understand what I'm saying? I mean, like if I'm showing a video and I want them to answer a question, is the answer going to just have been given and then I put the question?
you could do it that way. It's up to you to decide when you want to insert your question. So, like, typically what I would do on my videos is I would ask a question, stop it, and then put it, like verbally, I would ask the question, stop the video, type in the question, have them answer it just like if they were in class. Instead of just having Michelle answer all the questions, now everybody has to answer the question. Is that what you're meaning?
Kind of. I'm thinking more along the lines of a video, like again, in a social studies context, where they're watching maybe a 30-minute video from the History Channel on something, and I want them to know that piece of information.
Okay.
So where would I if I allow them to say the answer and then put the question, it almost becomes impossible for them to miss it. I guess what I'm doing is I'm directing them.
Yeah.
Let them know it's important.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. Right. So if you could just say, yeah, right, you're letting them know it's important. Or maybe after 5 minutes, say, okay, let's take a pause. All right,
Answer
do you
these.
remember?
Can you put multiple questions?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can piggyback, kind of like
So
it.
I can let 10 minutes and then put multiple questions in.
Yes, yes. And with that, let me go back here. Let's go back, get out of this. I didn't understand what you were asking there. Let's go back to, maybe I can still edit this guy.
So, again, like if the source YouTube video just goes off, it's off of YouTube, it doesn't matter. If you've already created your EdPuzzle, then it's still there.
If the creator removes the YouTube video, I have a feeling that video is gone.
So what you created.
What I created will, no, wait a minute. When I say what I created is, I created all my videos. I'm not using third party.
Right. I'm wanting to adapt and edit an existing video.
Like this one here.
Through EdPuzzle.
Right.
If I save what I've adapted, but that video
Is removed from YouTube.
Then I no longer have what I've created.
I believe that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But who's removing videos, to be honest? I mean, I have over 400 videos, and I don't go back and delete them. I'll make improvements on, and then update the links of the latest and greatest video. But the thing is, I'm not going to remove one.
Well, so we're up here at my classes. I guess I'm back to.
Okay.
I'm going to have to create a class.
You'll first create a class. So like over here where it says add a class, and you just type it in. And so let me call it Baby Chem. Okay, that's Honors Chem. And so I just click on there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it gives me a new code. So, right. Got it. And you can call it English, and I would probably do it if you're going to do this from year to year. And like what I didn't do for chemistry last year, I should have called it AP Chemistry period 4 2014. Okay. So to do that, to keep everything in order, because what I do not want to do, I don't.
You edit it later, like from year to year.
The videos are in place. I don't want to lose this data, because I'm afraid if I lose this data, I might lose something that's kind of important for me to reflect upon. Like go back and look at, how did this class respond to this video or these questions? Because this year's class isn't getting it. What's different? Okay, so I want to keep all that information. But the nice thing is my content is exactly the same.
Okay.
So those videos are there for the using, and anything that I change there.
So I get this question has to do with how this functions, but I'm assuming that EdPuzzle has rights to pull anything off of anywhere, and because I'm thinking like
it's all of this. You have access to all these videos. As long as it's not private, you got access to it. Yeah, so if I have a couple videos that are private, and I don't share that with anybody. It's mainly officiating garbage. But the thing is, I'm not going to make that public. But any video that's public, that's open for anybody.
I'll go back real quick. When you make I'm trying to think of using this.
My classes?
My classes.
Okay.
And you have to put in each kid.
No, they are going to sign up to your
they're
class.
Gonna sign up. How do you get them to sign up?
Okay, so like I just created BabyChem. So this is the code that they're going to log in and enter that class code.
And that's how they get access to it.
Yes. And then I will tell them, okay, like,
Gotcha.
so when it's,
So you can just do that like right in front of your class. You can walk in, hey guys, I want you to log into here.
Yeah.
And-
They can go ahead when they sign in, and then to get to your class and see all your stuff. So they are that kind of
and these videos are not assigned right now, but the student view shows what videos are assigned and when they're due.
So, like in your AP Chem class, do you assign a video at night, like 4 nights a week?
No, here it is. Here's all of the videos that they watched in November or February.
Okay,
So there's not a video every night.
you just give them.
This is how often I would lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, like in November last year, I only really lectured 6 times. I mean, in AP Chem, I don't lecture a whole lot. We just discuss, yeah.
What's the share feature?
So share. Oh, I don't know.
You could probably
Send to another
share.
teacher?
your video.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So
Hey, collaboration.
you can invite me to be part of your class.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that share feature is a new feature. So, ooh, workshop. Now you did Screencast, Melissa. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show what I created yesterday, just as an example. So I'm uploading a video that I created from Screencast. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, we talked about it.
You make your own.
Oh yeah.
Ever since you forgot your phone this morning, it's not been.
Wonderful.
So you can make your own video on this.
Yeah.
There may not be a reason to.
No, that is what I use. Screencast. This is a screencast.
And upload videos.
Yeah. Yeah. So I screencast, and then I used Movie Maker, which you should have on your computer. If not, then you can get it really easily. Where the heck did it go? Daggone it. here it is.
So you do screencast.
So I screencast, and I actually screencast with I bought this cord on Amazon for like $6. If you go to a Best Buy, it'll cost you like $60, $70. They mark it up. And so I went ahead, and so now I've got this in, what is Smartboard, what is the program? Notebook, thank you. So Notebook, and then I have this here. The reason why I'm doing this instead, all my videos I used to shoot with this, but that has like an analog display, and if you watch the video, you'll see these lines like in old movies and TVs, and that is just so distracting. So when I show the whole thing, all I can focus on are the lines moving up and down. It's really bad. So I bought the 10-foot cable so I can move the computer over and then work it out. But you can create your own videos, and as you're writing, I kind of like being able to write, and I have my cheater here. You'll notice that I never write in this area here because I put my little post-it note to tell me that if you get too low on the Smartboard notebook, then I'm going to be covering up information for this little picture-in-picture deal. So I always scoot it up and down. So as I'm writing, it's nice for students to be able to see you and hear you and be able to, oh, I started to forget there. Then I started to move it. Like, oh, got to move it up and get it out of the box. But the screencast is nice for this because it gives really nice HD quality images for what you're doing on your smartboard. It records everything that you're doing on your smartboard, and they can see you if you're like doing your hand gestures or whatever that the other guy does. But if you didn't want to include yourself on here, which is fine too, you could position your computer in such a way where it would capture your voice as you're writing on the board. Now, I did have like quite a few of my early videos when Avon gave us the first device that we could write on. But the thing is, this is what you heard every time I was talking as I was writing, and it was just so annoying. This does pick up a little bit of the taps, but it is not as bad as what my first videos were. But again, I put that on there because I know some of my students want to see me moving around. And
So how is it? All right, I'm lost. That's
go ahead.
I'll take that one thing at a time.
That having you on the screen is just a personal.
Yeah,
Okay, because.
it doesn't have to be there.
All right, but then if you're not on there, is there a need for the cord?
There is no need for the cord, but make sure that you position your laptop so it can hear you when you're talking. So if you're doing your presentation or making a video on the smart board, it'll still pick up everything that you're doing and your voice, and you'll be able to present some information
Okay, so
there.
if my smart board, let's just say theoretically that my smart board doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I can't ink on my smart board. I can use the style.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm sure you talked about that in your meeting.
You can just do what he's just saying. He would rather use a smart board.
I'd rather use a smart board than write on my top.
I would too.
Because I can't really write too well on here, but even when it's laying down, it still feels awkward.
Yeah.
So I like using
All right.